Welcome back to Shadows Over Loathing. As you know from my weird outro of the last episode, I just got some stuff that I'm going to dig right into here, and we'll just pick up where I left off. Get ready for some inconsistent editing, no, continuity be damned, woohoo! Alright, let's get that underway. Was there one that I hadn't solved? I genuinely thought there was another thing that I hadn't dealt with. Sit in the chair, which is surprisingly comfortable, weird dome, 3 buttons, uncurse, project. That'll be to project into a previously severed curse, and then neither. I'm going to project the fishing rod. Yes, the weird trio of fishes. I am a hook. I have a hook head. Hear his song. I might as well give this another look. Fresh eyes. It's been like a while, so maybe it'll click for me. I make mischief. I'm a wretched soul. Chaos is Fiststick's only goal. Well, almost only. See, I am very lonely. And to you I won't lie, tonight I'd like to die. Buy your hook and then be cooked. So there's a pun about soul and soul, but they probably all have little puns. Nobody sees and nobody woos. Poor old invisible glubbifer Lou. But you could make this Lou, sir, a winner if you'll rebirth me upstairs as somebody's dinner. So they're all asking for it, right? Nobody knows a trout as sweet as saucy Mr. Calvin Meat. I like to kiss the other trout on the tails or thereabouts, but I'll tell you my most base desire to be fished and thrown into the fryer. There has to be like another, like I will fish the bike instead. This is a cycle. Break it? Break the cycle. That was it? That was the solution? What? What is that? Good God. Was that there the whole time? Or, like, do you have to revisit that one? Maybe you have to have fished each of them once and then come back? I honestly don't remember what I had done, but I was that close to resolving it previously. When the curse got its teeth into that bicycle, it screamed, but only for a moment, and then silence. Limp silence. The insatiable eldritch hunger for fish that once animated the curse is gone. The fishing rod remains behind, just a stick and a hook too weak to catch anything that lives. Can't even fish with it now. The accursed fishing rod. Stripped of all eldritch magic and mysteriic, the once cursed fishing rod is now perfectly banal. Actually, it looks pretty lousy, which doesn't matter much because the line was dismissed along with the curse. So we actually can't fish with it now. That's it? But that's what I need it to do. It's better for the environment this way. If you think this is bad, wait until you find out about gasoline. Whatever, I'm a vegetarian anyway. Well, did I fish? I probably slept after originally uncursing the fishing rod, because I think you can do that without the projection. The key jumps up to the roof of the dome and sticks there, shaking and keening. That's the sound keys make. Keening against the metal. The lights in the store whine, flicker, and then cut out completely. Dang it. Wait it out. Only when the power is out does the key calm down. Give up the most odious part of itself to the machine and drop back down your lap. Light returns to the store. Fixed it. We had a spare light bulb under the cat. An uncursed key. Putting that terrible key on a chain has rendered it decorative. Extra item drops. The key's curse lingers in the machine. It is itself an arcane lock to be solved only by a projection of consciousness. That I shall do. Okay, we're the fancy lad aboard a passenger train. I have assembled everybody just as you... Okay, we're doing like a full murder on the Orient Express. Just as if you have asked, Detective, the victim's wife and the 2 men who were present in the passenger car at the time. I confess the truth of this murder continues to elude me, but no doubt you are soon to enlighten us with great powers of deduction and observation. May I inspect the body again? Nope, that wouldn't be fair to the other passengers who haven't had a look yet. I see. But I will tell you again what I know. At 11:13 a.m., the professor dropped dead in his chair after sitting down with his wife for a cup of tea. At the time, Mrs. Ryukenshi and Mr. Andretti were the only other passengers present in this car. Mr. Perry returned later. He's our prime suspect. He wasn't present for the murder, prime suspect. The rest I leave to you to deduce, detective. Or detect deducive. I need a moment. I was gonna just straight up look under that for anything. Niccolo Andretti, a businessman. Interrogate. He adjusts his cufflinks. I told you, I'd never even heard of this man. I know of Burgerworth College, of course. It's an excellent institution, but I didn't know he was a professor there. Now come on, let's not delay our journey further. I'm traveling with 19 suitcases of exotic rubber to make new and exciting wheels at the factory. Detective mode. You observe closely to see what you can deduce. Exotic rubber, eh? No doubt from the jungles of Almodovar, whose local brand of nicotine I smell on his collar. Of course, the rubber plants of Almodovar don't just yield material for bouncy tires, but an odorless poison, lethal when drunk in hot tea. But why would this man abet the murder of a stranger? I suspect the answer lies in the resume on the table and the name printed on it. Martin Perry. We have our next clue, apparently. Yumi Ryukenshi, the victim's wife. She dabs her eyes with a handkerchief embroidered with the words, mourning rags and wipes. A moment's privacy, please, detective. I had nothing to do with my husband's death, and no reason to want him gone. He was a kind man, and not a rich one. Everything he made he spent on the roulette tables. He owned over 700 of them. That's the largest collection in the world. We were traveling to Yorba Linda, so the mayor could give my husband the key to the city. But that won't happen now. You deduce that you should make some observations. Sometimes the simplest answer is the correct one. Occam's razor, but also I just had to sort through that for a second because it was such a nothing statement. She says she had no reason to wish her husband dead, but the chemical stain in her cuticles and the fingerprints on the window above, which she opened to dispose of the murder weapon, tell the tale more truly. But the nose reveals even more. Observe the zigzag pattern of the medical cleft below the nostrils. It's called Petrie's philtrum, and it's a rare genetic condition she shares with Martin Perry, her son. Everything's pointing to Martin Perry. Oh, he looks a lot like Charles Wallace, a young Charles Wallace. The young man is absent-mindedly but methodically disassembling and reassembling a fountain pen. It's as I said. Yes, the man was a professor of mine at Burgerworth College, and yes, he gave me a C and a D, but that's no reason to kill a man, wouldn't you agree? Besides, at the time of his death, I was in the lavatory trying to figure out what all the bits and pieces do. The perfect alibi, wouldn't you agree? Detective mode. Deductive observations wing about your mind. He's right, a mere C and D are no reason to kill one's professor, but is that the whole story? Observe how the boy tinkers with the fountain pen and the train lavatory. He fancies himself a mechanic, but he couldn't get a foot in the door of the profession if his C and D stood for car dunce. Nobody would be able to hire him, unless the professor who awarded those ignominious grades died. In that event, every grade he ever gave would be voided, for some reason. And this young man could take a plum job in car manufacture and start earning the big bucks. Well, it sounds like we're ready to accuse the train coroner, as every train has for all their many train deaths. Yes, detective? Tell me again what you know of the case. This is the same dude. I have solved the murder, but it was never in doubt, detective. Now tell us all. What happened? The victim was stabbed, shot, poisoned, blown up, clobbered, smushed. That is all for now. I need more time. Let me just run through, quickly. like, he was poisoned, right? We know that. Like, I'm overthinking that. I've solved it. He was poisoned by you, a giant dog. No, I will say by Martin Perry. Hold on now. That's Claptrap. Everybody, that's Claptrap. Please, all will become clear. The victim was poisoned by Martin Perry with the... Wow, exotic poison from the rubber tree. Okay, the rest of those are red herrings. Just literal poisons. Out of greed, out of jealousy, lust, revenge, out of sick curiosity to shut him up, to protect someone or something, to avoid his car dunce grade so he could make tires for Mr. Andretti. No, imbecile! I'd give that a C for come on. Careful now, don't be a fool. You were gifted with great powers of deduction and observation. Now come on, use them. I must take my leave. That was, like, it makes sense that that's insane and wouldn't make sense. I don't know, it just seemed fun to go with the most absurd explanation of things. I guess I'll try and actually solve it. I'll need a minute to, like, reread. Chemical stains on her cuticles and the fingerprints for disposing of the murder weapon. That was tied more to the wife. I mean, I'll still say he was poisoned, but I'll say that his wife did it because she was the one who was actually... We saw chemicals on her cuticles, things like that. And she still did it for Martin Perry, like he didn't do it himself. Okay, there it is. The victim was poisoned by Yumi Ryokenshi with exotic poison from the Almodovar rubber tree to void Martin Perry's car dunce grade so he could make tires for Mr. Andretti. Young Martin Perry dreams of working on cars, and his fresh ideas excite Mr. Andretti, who runs a tire factory. But Master Perry's professor has effectively blacklisted him as a car dunce, unemployable. What to do? Kill the professor, of course, and void that odious grade. Here the plot becomes most wretched. Master Perry's mother, Yume Ryokenshi, marries the professor and arranges for him to be present on the very same train as Master Perry and Mr. Andretti, who supplies an undetectable poison administered by Mrs. Ryokenshi. Et voila! No more professor, no more car dunce. But there is one more thing our three conspirators did not count on. Me. Pause for applause. I'm not ashamed. Any parent, sir, would do the same, as would any manager seeking new talent with interesting ideas about tires. If you call someone a car dunce, you're branding them for life, and you're responsible for anything that happens next. How awful! The three of them in it together. Tell you what, detective, at the next stop they can all get out and take the bus. A sick business. Quite so, but a wonderful feeling. I think to be possessed of great gifts, great powers of deduction and observation, and to use them. Here's another, a gift, that is. Call it a reward. Mysterious owl ring. A gift from a trained coroner in a dream. Or in something. Take the ring. Nice ring, isn't it? Look what rewards accrue to the powerful. Look how the world itself reveals itself at your touch. I must take my leave? No, that's not how it happened. I shall tell the tale again. Well, no, I think we're done. I think we've cleared it, right? Am I able to redo it? Is this not, like, resolved? The curse remains unresolved? What? That I don't understand. Well, can I completely flip it on its head and give, like, an unrelated... I confess, detective, I supplied the poison that killed the professor, but wasn't it worth it? Look at this resume of Martin Perry. Look at these interesting ideas he has about tires. Bouncier, globular, backwards. Is the life of one man worth more than bringing new and innovative wheels to the world? Yes, I did it. I did so I could hire Mr. Perry, and I would do it again tomorrow. And don't lie, detective. You would too. His wife. She has mourning rags and wipes. I admit, detective, I poisoned my husband. Oh, but spare me the reproach. Wouldn't you do just as I did if some scoundrel of the ivory tower branded your son a car dunce? No? Then I dare say you are not a parent, sir. That's quite apparent, yes, that I am not a parent. The young man is absent-mindedly but methodically disassembling, reassembling a pen. You really are as good as the papers say, detective, to sniff out that my C and D grades stood for car dunce. Yes, I put the whole plot in motion. Of course I did. Getting called a car dunce ruined my shot I had at a career in wheels. But a man's entitled to make a living, wouldn't you agree? This was the only way. How is this not resolved? Tell me again what you know. I solved the murder. If I just move through that again and say exactly who did it and with those precise motivations. What are you doing, detective? You've already solved the case. You were given a greater power and you used it. Don't you remember? Don't you remember the ring? You're being foolish now. That's not how it happened. Let me tell the tale again. What are you playing at, detective? Okay, well, what if I say now that he was stabbed by Mr. Andretti for no reason with an icicle out of sick curiosity? You're a fool, a fool. I gave you great powers of deduction and observation. I gave you the power to bend back the skin of the world and sniff up its insides. How dare you waste it? You really want to live without this power? You really want to live in the dark? Yes, you're a fool, and I wouldn't sully that ring on the finger of a fool. Give it back now. You don't deserve it. I uncurse you? Was that a thing? Was I supposed to have lost the ring and then given it back? So, did the curse effectively try to bribe you into not destroying it? That's a little disconcerting. The look at the key. You look at the key that once harbored its shadowy magic. It shimmers the light. 50% item drops. Ooh. You check your fingers and pockets, no mysterious owl ring. You were reminded of the great figures of history who wielded incredible power and chose to give it up. None of them? It's not a very common tale in history. You can't think of anyone specifically, but the concept is interesting to consider. Who is someone famous who gave up great power? He's not famous, but my dad never eats more than he needs to at a buffet. I don't remember where I read this, but there's a rumor that Anne Boleyn had access to a tank, but chose not to use it. No need, she said. And you know who else had a tank? Walt Whitman. Very interesting, you two. Yeah, definitely no ring. At all. Now all of these things feel like they've been dealt with, and it's time to actually go to bed. Oh, time to pick a fourth store, right. The first applicant is Jardware's Hardware. I guess if you want hardware. The Old Chemic, some SIT science lady wants to sell potions, and truncheons and bludgeons. Excited about weaponry. I honestly don't know if any of those are super exactly what I want. I'll take the potion store. I think I already have the most relevant ones. I'll get it moved in. Thanks, Charles. You set Flemberg's tiny workbench up on your desk. Time to get to tiny work. You find a hook in one of the ceiling beams and hang your new refrigerator. You place the glowy orb thing on your knick-knack shelf. I forgot about the orb thing. I genuinely don't remember it very well. It's a shelf for knickknacks and tchotchkes. There's an old rag doll on the top shelf. Must have been left by the previous tenant. Oh, is that the creepy doll from West of Loathing? The crystal gave you is twinkling away. The cool plasma ball from the Radio Shack is still crackling away. I will walk away from that. We have the fridge. And what was the other thing that we just added to our room here? The tiny workbench. It's your crafting desk. Ooh, there's an arcane hot plate. I already had that. That's right. And then the workbench as well. So it's nice to have both of those mixed together there. I can just send myself off to sleep and see what the next section of dreams are like. We're a little girl this time. A disconcerting dream. Today's October 20th, 1902. My diary. Write today's entry. It is the property of Margaret, spooky writing, age 9. All others got to keep out under penalty of law. Dear Diary, yesterday our dog Daisy died. Papa said it was bound to happen because she was older than me, which isn't odd for a kid, but is really old for a dog. Old for a dog. He said we'll get a new dog soon, but I was sad anyway. Some birthday. At school today, the teacher asked what we want to be when we grow up. I said I'll be God, because then I can make sure all the dogs live a long time and are always happy. Everyone laughed, and that jerk Billy Gribsley said a girl can't be God. So I said I'll be president instead, because that's nearly as good. He said a girl can't be president either. Well, I'll show him. I'm gonna make all kinds of laws about being nice to dogs, and I'll make being a jerk illegal too, so Billy Gribsley goes to jail and can't eat nothing but bread and water forever. So there. A little older. Your desk covered in Ocean City paperwork. Poindexter, your insufferable bean counter. See what he wants this time. Madam Comptroller, what is it, Terrence? I merely need your signature on these budget revisions. With this, the remainder of funds currently allocated to municipal services will be redirected to your shadow presidential campaign and your other projects. Oh, we're seeing the history of the Crimbo Lady, I think. And your other projects. That sounds a bit obvious. Rest assured, I am only sparing you the details, which you have made quite clear to me that you find intolerably boring. The transactions will be meticulously obscured through shell corporations, cutouts, offshore accounts, and the like. Alright, good. You'd better not be skimming more off the top than I'm willing to ignore. Certainly not, Madam Comptroller. Just the right amount of corrupt. It's time to record the announcement of your candidacy for Shadow President. One of your PR lackeys carefully trained to be just unafraid of you enough to tell you what not to say in public. Alright, attention peons. Oh geez, don't call them peons, ma'am. And please try for a less totalitarian tone, generally. Right. So, something like, my fellow citizens. Howdy, folks. What's cookin', my pals? Much too casual. Nobody would buy it. I hated saying it anyway. How about my fellow citizens? Good evening. I'm Margaret. That's her last name. That's weird. The levels went all funny when you said your last name. Don't worry about it. I hereby announce my candidacy for Shadow President. Vote for me or else. No, sorry, ma'am, no. Ugh. Start out by explaining who you are. Most of them probably don't pay much attention to local politics. Alright, in my role as Ocean City's comptroller, I have made it my mission to eliminate waste and graft in the city's finances. Make sure you all get exactly what you deserve. Rob you suckers blind for my own nefarious ends. The first one. And I am proud to say that I have been completely successful through my program of shutting down needless civic waste programs, thereby reserving your valuable tax meat for the things that actually matter. Ensuring none of you have the time or energy to protest my actions, forcing you to live in desperate squalor like the rats you are. Things like family, prosperity, and freedom, mom, baseball, and apple pie, ultimate power. Perfectly meaningless. Love it. Okay, then just a call to action to top it off and we're done. A vote for me is a vote for you. Vote for me and I'll pay you 100 meat. That's a strategy that's been used far too often. Vote for me or I'll destroy you. That's great, just perfect. Good, is that all? Yeah, we'll add in the legal, this message, blah blah blah, campaign for Shadow President stuff in post. Great, I'm out of here. Time travel makes my guts itch. This guy's a yokel, even by the standards of his time. Time to grease the wheels. Mayor Burby, I presume. Yes, who are you? I'm here to speak to you about Crystal Dream Valley Dam project. I want you to make the dam bigger, and much more powerful. Here are some revised plans. A dam this large would flood the valley and displace hundreds of people. And besides, the dam is as planned, will provide a perfectly adequate amount of power. Why would we need to make it bigger? How about a handshake agreement? What? I don't even know who you are. You want me to agree to this on the basis of a handshake? Specifically, I'm offering you the chance to shake hands with the handle of this large briefcase filled with meat. Oh, well now, yes, I think this new plan is quite viable. Good. The sheep is in your office. What the hell? This desk was carved from a single block of tedium, the raw elemental form of boring work. It turns out that a lot of the president's time is spent on ceremonial bullcrap that nobody actually cares about. Case in point, pardoning the Thanksgiving turkey. None of your aides know what a turkey looks like, apparently. Pardon the damn thing anyway. This desk covered in policy documents, both benevolent and malign. There's a note here about going back in time and making the crystal dream damn bigger. Gotta get on that eventually. Your ridiculous court wizard isn't taking the situation seriously. Make it clear to her what is required. So is that the Crimbo lady? Give me a progress report on the SIT thing. Have you taken care of the problem yet? Oh, it's so dreary and unfestive there. All that math and science. It isn't holly or jolly. Screw your damn theme. Your entire job is dealing with magical issues. I won't have that do-gooding interloper messing around in the library. There's too much at stake. Get it dealt with, or I'm Crimbo Federal's holiday status to the friggin' groundhog. I'm giving it. You wouldn't! Go! Get out of my office! 6 lockers? Some dumb jock kid you have to give a presidential fitness award to. Hey kid, how's it going? Hi. Brilliant. Alright, by the power invested in me as the Shadow President, here's your reward for being able to climb a rope faster than most other kids, which is definitely important, and this is a great use of my time. Thanks. Do I give a speech? Whatever, I'm out of here. This miserable beast. President Strong, make rich. His crown reminds me of the crown that, like, the king of the schoolyard wears in recess. That's, like, specifically what it makes me think of. I can't remember the king's name. Yes, I know, and yes, you don't have to remind me of the terms of our 2-word agreement. It's very fitting. You're keeping your people mean and hungry? Yes, warriors mean, warriors hungry, good fighters. That's right, you're my ace in the hole. This stinking mud hole. If I need to use force, so you'd better stay on top of things if you want your make rich. Keep everyone worshipping at the Gator Shrine too. But for God's sake, don't mess with the stuff in the basement. If you screw anything up down there, I will turn you into wallets. Get me? Gulp! I get. Good. Oh God, she's getting so much more evil. Duty calls again. Useless oaf. More damn paperwork. How come nobody told me being president is all paperwork and talking to idiots? Sorry, ma'am, but the unwashed masses gotta be kept in line while we amass power. Yeah, fine. I hereby sign this order declaring July 12th National Bread and Circuses Day. All citizens get a complimentary dinner roll and a free turn on the nearest suitable trapeze. Ma'am, I ain't sure that— Who cares? Let Coolidge deal with it. What's he even for anyway? This is beneath me. Storm out. Hellstrom, what does he want? Alright, Hellstrom, let's hear your report. Everything's fine and dandy, ma'am. I don't rightly understand what the shadow energy stuff is exactly, or why you want so goddamn much of it, but the converters are spraying it with slicker and greased mice out of a Gatling gun, with plenty of slag left over to press into these weird monsters you like. Finally, some good news. So you'll meet the project deadline? Yep. Thought we'd need to expand the oil drilling operations some more. You need to sign this permit so as we can expand into lots 210 to 240. Sure, whatever. That a problem? My family's farm is 223. Oh, wait. Well, ma'am, if you're wanting your weird black juice, we gotta get the regular black juice out of the ground first. All right, fine. Sorry, Grandpa. Sign it away. Just selling out everything good in your life, hey? In your soul? Enough of this. Step through it. So this is the main antagonist who exists above our main Crimbo lady, yes, is what I'm seeing, understanding here, I think. Well, I need to investigate all the different things around my room. Not all of them give benefits, but I think quite a few of them do. If I rub the crystal, you gain twinkling fingers. I don't remember exactly what everything does. Magic weapon attacks. Next up, Consider the orb. You considered the orb, but have you considered whether the orb was also considering you? Yes, yes, very good. And the weird doll cannot be interacted with. I will sit on my throne, heavy as the hand, not head. Fridge is fully stocked with terrible Gatorman beverages. You got an item, Gatorman Cola. Can I just keep? Nah, you've already got one per day. The Glockenspiel, we can bing and dong it, nothing. Recliner's terrible, but the price was right. You get the inherent stink. Our cute critter can't do anything. Just looking at it makes you mad. The fairy fisticuffs, melee weapon attacks. The TV doesn't do anything. Go Badgers. So that is everything around. I guess I can't use the head on the wall. That's everything in the room that has immediate purposes. We got a sickle from a signal. Wait. We got a signal from a sickle. You know, the farming tool thing. It's over in Gray Country somewhere. Mostly nothing but farms there, but there's a store that's been open since forever. The owner's name is Jasper. He knows Murray. He'll probably help you out. Here's a map. We got the Gray County placemat map. They're all written on the least convenient things. In lieu of a map, Jessica has given you a placemat from a restaurant in Gray County. This is a dinner placemat. It literally has a map of the county right in the middle of it. Oh, I'm just impressed that you found a way to give me an actual map while still giving me a thing that isn't a map. That's true. That's quite the balance she's managed to strike there. Oh wait, I actually had to answer a call in the middle of that, and so now I've lost track of recording length and the things. I don't even know. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the episode off here and then go to bed, and then I'll be able to pick things back up from there. I don't like having 2 episodes in a row where I'm so unconfident in what the episode length is, because I like them all being 30 plus minutes, and then it will bother me somewhere in my brain if suddenly 2 in a row are like 27 minutes. But I don't know, and I just, if I want to stay on top of daily uploads, I gotta make these cutoffs somewhere so I can space things out a little bit more. So thank you all so much for watching. Pitch me out an episode title. I guess this is where that's it. See ya. Bye-bye. See how thrown off I am? Nothing's working as it's supposed to right now.